Hey, soul seekers, it is intuitive energy healer Kathy Weiss here. I am coming to you live from my reading room here on the Central Coast of California. Welcome to this week's episode of Monday Messages and our free live intuitive reading. Hey, y'all, I have a couple of really interesting things to tell you. First of all, I'm getting a sense that in the next about 6 or 8 or so weeks, the format of Monday messages and the readings and things like that are going to take a little bit of a shift, and we might be moving away from pulling names out of the Mad as a Hatter teacup into a slightly different format. I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen with that yet, except that I can feel that energy building. So if you've been watching for a while and you're always hesitant about putting your name in the cup in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to suggest you do that before this format shifts and we do a little bit something different on Monday messages. I'm hearing Monday messages isn't going away, but we're just going to change up how we approach it a little bit together. So awesome. Before I get into pulling names out of the teacup hat today, we just wanted to show you this little tiny guy that I brought with me. Beautiful shade of turquoise. This is called Amazonite. And what Amazonite does is it calms the mind and soothes the nervous system. It helps you to see all the different sides of a problem, and it protects from negative energy. And I just felt really compelled to bring that into today's reading. So there is a little bit of lovely energy supporting us today in the reading. And I am just about to pull a name, or actually some names, out of the teacup hat today, and it's going to be a little bit different. Hey, Kayla, nice to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. I'm happy you're here. Um, little bit different today because as each person who shouted out over here on Facebook to have their name put into the teacup hat today, all I got was one single word. And now normally I get either an image or a couple of sentences or something like that. But today it was like straight up one word. And I think it has a lot to do with how there was a really big trend at the beginning of January of 2019, right? And we're about 3 weeks into January now, where there was a big discussion around what's your word for 2019. So it's sort of like resolutions are sort of passe, because we all have this understanding that resolutions generally don't help us. So resolutions are sort of out of favor. Intentions are still really popular, setting goals for yourself, as is choosing a word. And so you see a lot of conversation around that in the first couple days of January. And now that we're 3 weeks in, that conversation is pretty much completely silent. And there's a reason for that. A lot of us aren't feeling that word we chose for ourselves right now, or we're not seeing a lot of progress towards our intentions or our goals, or feeling a sense of success with those things that we were desiring for ourselves. And I want you all to know that that's normal right now. Energetically, the season that we're in is the incorrect season actually for starting these new endeavors. Now, I get it, like mind over matter, there's never a bad day to start a new endeavor, but in the energetic season that we're in, we're not as supported in that success as we're going to be a little bit later in the year. And so if you want to learn more about the energetic season versus the calendar season, right? On the calendar, we're in the new year. Energy wise, we're not in the new year yet. So if you're interested in learning more about the energetic seasons as opposed to the calendar seasons, I'm teaching a free class on Zoom this Friday, January 25th at 12:30 Pacific time. And all you have to do is let me know that you want in, and I will send you a personal invite to join that class. And if you're interested, but you know you can't make it at that time, I still want you to shoot me a message, because you can I'm going to record the class, is how I want to say it. I'm going to record that class and I can send it to you after it's over. If you want to learn more about why maybe you're like not feeling it right now, or like why you kind of want to stay in bed and pull the covers over your head and just high, or lay around and cry all day, or watch Netflix and not actually do anything. It's totally about where we are energetically. You can optimize your energy, and I want to teach you how to do that. So shout out and let me know. Okay. So let's dive into Monday messages and our free live intuitive reading. I'm going to do it a little bit differently today than I have in the past. There's only been one other time where I really deviated from pulling a name out of the hat. And that particular time, it was because there was nothing written for anyone. It was so interesting. And today, there is just one word written for everyone. And there were only four today. It's like really super quiet. And that's quite possibly because it is a holiday here in the United States and people may be off doing some other things with their time today. So, what I'm going to do is really quickly read the one word for each person and just give them a super brief explanation of what the energy is around that word that I'm hearing for them. And then we're going to pull an oracle card from the Sacred Rebels deck, which I know is reversed because of the camera that I'm using, to support all four of these women in what's going on with their energy right now. I'm hearing some of you have questions about what energy reading is. That I'm not going to answer that for you today, but I will answer that on Friday and I'll answer it next week for you. So make sure you tune in to one of those things. Okay, so let's do them this way. Okay, so Lori, number one, your word. There you are. I know it's backwards, but Lori, your word is ignite. And I literally see like a cartoon rocket ship where you like lighting the fuse and the rocket ship goes up. It bursts into a little firework. Firework turns into your name, Lori. And I do hear that Katy Perry song for some reason that goes along with this. And I'm just hearing it's time for you to ignite your own life. And I heard the phrase that you will not meet the man of your dreams on a social media app, and so to please start using your energy elsewhere, maybe delete all those apps off your phone, off your computer, whatever, and start to ignite your life. And that's what will attract your perfect person in. And I swear to God, people meet each other in places other than on social media apps, and that you need to start opening yourself up to that. Okay, Danielle, your word is heal. Heal your physical body, which we know that you're doing, and heal your emotional body. And I didn't get a whole lot more around what that particularly means for you, but healing does take time and it requires rest. Like healing is exhausting. And so perhaps giving yourself permission to rest a little bit more than you have, so that both the physical wounds and the emotional wounds can heal, because healing happens in rest. Okay, Carly, your word is safety. And what came up around safety for you, Carly, when I felt into that is that there's a person creating a situation in which you don't feel safe. So I don't know particularly if it's that you don't feel safe with the person or if you don't feel safe about the situation that's being created, but that it's time for you to take responsibility for your safety and to find a way to exit or leave the person or the situation where you're not feeling safe. And like my body temperature just rose, and I know sometimes the way the lighting is, you can see like my nose turns a little bit pink in the way the lighting is, but like I got so hot right now, Carly, when I was talking about that, that I feel like it's really important for you to consider that in a really, really deep and meaningful way, that you need to put your safety in this situation or with this person as your top priority. And then Lauren, your word is passion. And a couple of things came up for me with that and you. Passion, it felt like passionate love, like open yourself up to a romantic love or a romantic situation that is full of passion. And passion can mean in the bedroom, but it can also be in the way that the other person is interested in you and supports you and wants to do nice things for you and is really engaged, not in a unhealthy way, but just like they're really into you and they really are curious about you and they are really wanting to support your endeavors and your dreams and your goals in a way that's really uplifting. And so it's time to open yourself up to that. And the way that you do it is by being so passionate about your own life, so passionate about your health, your wisdom, your education, your career path. And that's the thing that's going to open the door for that. So just passion, passion, passion. Like, put it all over the place. And I get a sense that like a bright pink and purple color theme is not necessarily your deal, but maybe like sprinkle in a little bit of hot pink and purple into your life. Toenail polish, t-shirt, something like that. Okay, so I'm gonna pull an oracle card that will support all four of these women, even though you can see their messages and their energy is very different. But sometimes still there is some universal thread that we can't see on the surface that's running through all four of their lives. And okay, this is not a detailed reading, so I imagine if I got in there and did a detailed reading on these women that I would be able to uncover a little bit more about what that thread is that's running through them. So guys, remember, oracle cards are not fortune tellers. They don't answer the questions for your life, but what they do is they act as an inspirational tool to help you look at things in a different way, to sort of jog you out of your normal way of thinking and help you tap into your own intuition to see the situations in your life in a different way, or just give you some clarity and some affirmation and some support. So they're really, really wonderful healing and inspirational tools, but they don't hold the answers. Does that make sense? So when I work with someone, I invite them to choose their card from the top, the middle, the bottom of the deck. And I'm hearing that it's like very rare for me to pull directly from the bottom, and that's where I'm going to pull from. So straight from the bottom of the deck today. And the card is Diving for Light. And I always ask someone to really look at the card and see what's the first thing that jumps out, or what sort of sparks or lights up within them. And the first thing I saw was these seahorses. And now I'm like so sad that I did not grab my spirit animal oracle deck, because I'm wondering what the energy of a seahorse is. And I might actually look that up and post it in the comments later. So make sure that you pop back in later, you guys, and check it out, because that's really what jumped out at me. And maybe the book is going to give us some information about that as well. Oh gosh. And then when I looked at it even more carefully, she also has the seahorses up here at like just above the third eye area. So there's definitely something about that seahorse energy that's going to really support all of the women today. And speaking of spirit animal cards, which we're not entirely right now, but anyone who books an intuitive reading and healing session with me in the month of January, as a bonus, will discover their spirit animal for the year. So I have a couple spots left next week if you want to grab one. Okay, so I do like to peek into the guidebook when I'm doing a reading to pull out those little bits of wisdom that will support the message or what we're talking about. And so what she says is that this oracle speaks of a time when you are called into darkness through life circumstances, situations, relationship challenges, or inner struggles that defy clear understanding. The darkness the darkness might be a creative block, a sense of being in a void, or feelings of depression, rage, sadness, fear, or anxiety. There may not be an obvious cause, and the darkness might be generally accepted and socially acknowledged because there is a reason for it. But if there isn't a reason and it isn't justified, then it makes it a little bit more challenging for you to find social acceptance. And just know that whether there is social acceptance for what you're feeling or not, you can never feel the wrong thing. There's no such thing as, I shouldn't be feeling this. This isn't the right feeling. If you are experiencing a feeling, an emotion, it is valid. Okay? So, you must stay in your heart and not believe these dark forces, whatever this little bit of darkness. It's not going to last long, is what I'm hearing. But when this darkness arises, or this challenge, or this struggle, and that's what the Amazonite is all about, you guys. It's about seeing this problem from multiple angles. When this problem or challenge arises, know that it's temporary and stay in your heart. stay in compassion for yourself. Yeah, have compassion for others, but like put your compassion for yourself at the top of the list. Because fear creates the energy of anger, hate, and destruction. And you probably don't want to go there. I mean, there's nothing wrong with going there, but if you can stay in a place that is compassionate and soft and stay in the light, you'll move through this time a little bit easier, a little bit softer, and be able to view it with a little bit more of like an intellectual place, and resolve it with a little bit of greater ease. Okay, right? Oh yeah, and it even says darkness just is, right? Sometimes we get anxious or sad or depressed, or we go through endings in our lives that make us feel unhappy or lose hope. But that's just a thing, right? It just is an is thing. And so if you can be really patient with it and continue to search for the light, continue to search for the positive, continue to search for the good, it will reveal itself to you. Here I went, like, I need to say that again. The goodness is going to reveal itself to you. It's there and it's unfolding. And that's why the card is called Diving for Light, because you do have to sort of like go deep down sometimes to find that light. And again, guys, I'm not entirely sure what the seahorses are about, but I am going to find out and post it in the comments afterwards. So today's message is complete. Yep, it sure is. Thank you so much for tuning in. And again, if you want to learn more about your energy and about the energetic seasons and how you can optimize your energy, please give me a little shout out, private message me, and join me this Friday, January 25th at 12:30 Pacific time for an energy masterclass. Otherwise, I'm going to see you, I think Wednesday. I have a bonus channeled message coming for you also. So lots of good stuff coming up here and over on Instagram at lightworker_Kathy. So make sure that you're tuning in and following along, and scheduling your own private healing session so that we can get you the healing messages and guidance you need, along with your spirit animal for 2019. Man, you guys are awesome, and I love you so much. Thank you for tuning in, and I'm going to see you next time. Bye. Love you. Bye bye.